Hey everybody, J.M. Manion here at the NPC Photo Gym in Pittsburgh, and couldn't have a better 2 days. Yesterday, we had Nick Walker here, who won the Arnold in the men's bodybuilding, and today we have Terrence Ruffin here, who just won the Classic Physique portion. And this is also his road to the Olympia. Just like we had scheduled Nick a long time ago.
Yeah.
We had this scheduled, and it just couldn't have turned out this way if you planned it.
Yeah, it's the best situation you can have.
Right? Like we were talking, like I said yesterday with like Nick and Matt and everybody, literally those 2 days. Remember I said it was Monday or Tuesday after the Arnold we had, right?
That was it. That was
it.
Yeah.
And the fact that you guys both won is crazy.
Yeah, that must have been a sign. Yeah.
There it is. So, unfortunately, guys, next year the Arnold will be back in March, so it won't help you for next year's Olympia.
Oh, man.
So, listen, how you feeling with this, man?
I feel great. Last year I got second at the Arnold, and to come back and be able to take that title meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I know we were just talking that, it was the Arnold's little, because it was weird, a little different with the one-day format, only the 4 divisions, 10 people in each. But still, I mean, you had 9 other tough guys.
Yeah, very tough. I mean, obviously the returning champ, Alex, was there.
Right.
Another top 5 from the Olympia, Brian Jones. Logan's on the rise as well, and a couple other great athletes as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So listen, let's just dive into that. How's Logan beat you for the best poser award?
No idea. He touched on the heartstrings. I heard he did the a replication of Arnold's routine. I guess that kind of gave him some points there.
Well, I did say in an interview with another company, they were talking to Tyler and I said, I think what did it for them was he mimicked the exact pose of the statue.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and I said, especially when you're sitting in the pit, it almost looked like the statue was his shadow.
Yeah.
And he positioned himself perfectly for it.
That's a shot too. That's a really good shot.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go, truthfully, if I was looking for something like that, as much as I think you're the best poser in the division.
Thank you.
Okay. That right there just kind of seal the deal.
Okay.
Well,
I'll come back. I'll try again, and hopefully we'll get it next
time.
And
listen, this is taking nothing away from you. Mm-hmm. But it's just, guys, you got to go look at it online. If you get someone that has the photography, probably on NPC News Online, you'll see that how Logan has that pose just the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really
so
good.
Smart on his part too, right?
Yeah. I went with Lee. I did some Lee stuff in mine because he's my favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
But listen, winning the best poser is not winning the show.
True.
Yeah. So now we're 10 days out from you being on stage?
Yeah, it's quick. Yeah, 10 days, and we'll be back at it again.
Yeah.
It's coming up a lot faster than I thought, for sure.
I know. It's just like when pushing the Arnold into here, and then knowing that within a little less than 2 weeks, everyone's going to start being on stage on Friday. Actually, it's definitely a funky time because, like, I'm sure you're going. What day you're going to get to Orlando?
Luckily, I live in Tampa, so I'm just going to get there Thursday because I'm an hour and a half. Yeah.
So, but a lot of people are going to start showing up like Sunday, Monday, maybe even Tuesday. So it's kind of like that week is already taken up.
People will be there in a couple of days.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, luckily for you, you just live right down the road.
Yeah. Oh man, but I heard he might be leaving Orlando soon. I hope not, because I like that easy trip. Yeah.
I think that's a wait to be seen because you never know. Vegas flip flops.
That's true.
When we were out there a month ago, they had the mask mandate again.
Okay.
Right. So it was when I was at the Tahoe show, which was that second week. The same with the Texas Cup. So second week of August, that they were talking then that on that Monday that Nevada was having the mask mandate. So it's been in effect since like basically the third week of August.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we went to go see some like Lionel Richie and different things, but again, they have all the signs and everything. So I think it's a wait to be determined.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty split. People like the Orlando, people like the Vegas.
I like a little bit of both, but I definitely like how close Orlando is to me. Yeah.
Well, I'm just throwing this out there because I've never said it before. Maybe it would be cool, like, do 2 years in Orlando,
Yeah.
do 2 years in Vegas, come back, maybe do 2 years in Orlando, instead of every year.
I
Maybe
definitely like when they used to do in the back in the day when they moved around and stuff. That was definitely fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, because truthfully, I said it's been in Vegas for 20 years because 1999, when it was at the Mandalay Bay, it stayed in Vegas all the way through 2019.
Yeah.
I remember going to see the Mr. Olympia in Finland.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I would love that. I mean, and then it gives people like other countries a chance to get to see us and not have that can afford to see us at that point.
Listen, this was a great story, which people probably don't even know. So they have the prejudging for the Mr. Olympia in Finland. We all leave. They disassemble the stage, take the seats out, and they play a hockey game.
What?
They play it. They're one of their European professional hockey team. They play a hockey game. We come back at 6 o'clock and they rebuild everything.
That is ridiculous. That's crazy. They made the money that day. They made a lot of money
Right?
that day. Oh my goodness.
So picture being in one of the arenas like that.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys go on. All right, we're going to tear this down. We're going to play a professional hockey game, and we'll see you guys at 6.
I would have been freaking out if I was Olympia coordinator. Honestly, I'm like, I don't think they could do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there's been some crazy stuff like that. And I remember even in Long Beach. It was in Long Beach. Santa Monica. It bounced around quite a few places. Atlanta stuff. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember going to see it in a few of the overseas locations, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I wish I could have. I've been to some normal pro shows overseas, but never. Obviously, it's not the Olympia.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're prepped for this, okay? Things got a little bit different for that also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about with John.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, and I was talking. I never had really talked to Missy much about, but I don't think she realized that we've known John. We knew John Meadows forever.
Yeah, he's been
Came
around
from this.
forever.
Yeah, he's from our NPC district, the Mid Atlantic Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Did all his NPC contests here. Turned pro here at the North Americans.
Yeah, he did.
So I mean, we've seen him since he started. As they say, he was one of ours.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest guys ever. If you ever met him, okay, he and I, we always talked about
What?
comics.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I remember the one time he showed up at the North Americans with the Wolverine mutton chops,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, "I know you like these." Yeah, I do.
That's cool. Yeah. I remember he had those. I'm like, man, they were. Yeah, he made them thick.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my god. He loved comics. That's the first thing we talked about when I met him. We had dinner, and that's the only what we talked about.
Right. Yeah. See, we don't always. This is where we talk about bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but like I said, he was a great trainer, great person, great competitor. I mean, if you knew his personal story, how he came back, which is
A lot.
that could be a movie, just the inspirational part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really would be. Great father, family man, all of that and above. I was just in Ohio. Obviously, Arnold's in Ohio. I got to see his family, and they're doing okay.
Right.
But yeah, he was a big part of my life. I knew first time I met him was when I got my pro card. He didn't get his, but that's when I first saw him. And moving on from that point, I would see him here and there for a couple of years until I started working with him back in 2019. Yeah.
Right.
And he was a huge role. Obviously, when I started working with him, that's when I started to do better shows. I got second at the Arnold, second at the Olympia.
Right.
And a huge part of my career in my life.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember it was Sunday morning in Tampa when everybody started finding out.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to go out and do photo shoots, and it was like 8:30 in the morning, and I got a text from somebody in Ohio, that said, "Hey, John Meadows they passed away," and I was like, "What?" That was just so out of the blue.
It really was. I mean, he had that heart attack that was a while ago, but he was on top of everything. He was checking his blood work, going to the doctors, and everything seemed to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really unexpected, for sure.
Right. Now, with that being so close to this contest, how did that affect you?
It was difficult. I was in Texas when I found out. I was working with Lita Brada with some posing and stuff, and Honestly, I had a second half of my trip. I was supposed to go there, then go to Dallas for a guest posing, and I just cut it short. I honestly didn't train or I didn't eat much for about a week, and then I grieved for a little bit, and then I made a decision like I'm going to finish this and got back prepping. I did my own prep for a couple of weeks and realized I needed some help,
Right.
because there was a lot of stress, a lot going on, and I just really just tried to stay focused on the things I can control, and
Right.
it was really really difficult going into it. Yeah.
Right. Well, you persevered, and I'm sure, looking down, he's extremely happy with you and Missy winning.
Yeah, I was
Right.
really happy. Me and her talked about it. It's like, yeah, it's really nice that both his athletes came back and got this win for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, you weren't at the North Americans. Gary, you'd have put
He
together
put together
a
the
great
video.
tribute. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you were there, right?
No,
no,
but
you
he
were.
told me about it. Yeah.
Right. I forget because I forget who comes where for Fit Body Fusion.
Oh yeah.
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 So-
Yeah.
But yeah, Gary had put together a really, really nice. Had interviews with people and stuff.
It was really nice.
Like it wasn't
Yeah.
just like the pictures. Like he talked to a lot of different athletes that knew him and everything
Mhm.
else. So there wasn't a dry eye in the house when it was done.
That's, yeah, that it just shows how much of an impact he made to have Gary do something like that and have the amount of people reach out and be upset and all these different things, over him. It was
Right.
amazing to see what he was able to do,
Right, absolutely. So, I mean, God bless his family and everything, and it's still a hard time.
Mhm.
It's not even that long ago.
No, it's
You
not.
know, But like I said, the thing with you and Missy, I mean, I think everybody that knew that was at the Arnold, and whenever you two won, everybody was, if they weren't smiling on the outside, they were smiling on the inside because it's a true feel good story.
It
You
really
know.
is, yeah.
But you're going to finish the job for him in Orlando, right?
Yeah, in 10 days, I'm really excited. Really excited to see how I do. I've made, obviously, a lot of improvements. And, obviously, Chris is a great athlete. And we got to train together a couple weeks ago. And I know he's not going to show up at anything less than his best. So
Right.
it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be a challenge. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we had Breon here last week.
Yeah, Breon is still a two-time champ. Arnold Classic winner as well. Only got to win both. So in Classic. So I know he's always there. I mean, I only beat him by 1 point after because of finals. So
Right.
yeah. It's gonna be a challenge, but I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, having seen him in person, Terrence is going to pose later. And, as we see every day with Chris and stuff, I mean, it's going to be a battle. It's
Yeah.
going to be a good battle,
Hmm.
And Breon showed us that if you want, because he was okay with it, if you scan through the posing, he showed us the new pose that he's using for his,
Classic pose.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah. So, yeah, he pulled that out when he was here. He was showing us and having us look at it. Do we like this? Do we like this? And,
Okay.
Chris Cormier was here too.
Oh yeah.
It was always good for laughs, Chris. Chris and I were explaining to Breon and Tyler what things were like in the 90s and early 2000s in the sport.
Oh really?
Yeah.
90s was a crazy time, honestly. Yeah,
Yes.
him and Flex and Ron. Yeah, definitely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so, you had Sean Ray, you had Flex Wheeler, you had Kevin Lebroni, you had him, you guys like Mike Matarazzo.
Mike was one of my
Right,
favorites.
yeah, you had Ronnie coming from out of nowhere. He had to win the Olympia.
It was, and then the personalities and then everything was great.
Yeah, with Dorian. I mean, we were telling him, and the more we're talking, the more we'll remember. And it was so funny because those two they're just killing themselves. They're like, no, this didn't really happen. And we're like, yeah, it did. we were all there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So it was good stuff. So who are you training with now?
I am with Yesin. He was a big fan of both my coaches before they passed, and he's a coach out in France. He's had a couple Olympians, all women. So I'm his first big name guy, but I've known him for a long time, and he did an amazing job. I knew he'd do good, but I was like, man, you did really good. He's in Dubai right now. He'll be at the Olympia on Tuesday. I'll be in Orlando on Tuesday. So,
Right.
So yeah, you'll get to meet him. And no, he's in.
Well, how did you get hooked up with him?
I met
Through
him
somebody, or?
I met him at the Arnold in 2018.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I was working a booth with my coach Matt Porty.
Right.
He passed away, and
Another great guy.
Another great guy, and he invited me to do a seminar in France. So I went out to France. I stayed with him a couple of days, and it was the biggest one I had. We had like 40 people, and just for me alone, that was way too many to handle by myself. So we kept in touch over the years. I've seen him. He always comes to the Arnold normally. He normally comes to Olympia because he has athletes there. And then I don't know. I just felt right. I was like, all right, I'll. He hit me up because I didn't tell him, but I was having some hard times with the prep, and then he randomly hit me up. And then I asked him a question. I'm like, what do you think of this? And he gave me an answer. And I was like, well, do you want to kind of take over things? And he was like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see him in a few days.
Yeah.
In a week.
In a week.
In a week. A week from today, the day we're filming this. So.
And then I also have a trainer, Joe Bennett. He's trained with Flex Lewis. He's trained Dallas McCarver. He doesn't do any diets. He's kind of like Charles Glass, like just the training side of it. And I've been with him for 5 years now. I train with him every day.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. So is there anybody else you want to give a shout out to while we're here?
I can do anybody.
Anybody.
Sponsors.
Everything.
Supplements. Or ran by a pro bodybuilder, Jason Huff. Tough Raps, my sponsors as well. Fit Body Fusion, come join the team, and yeah, I think that covers it.
I was waiting for like 10 more the way you initially said that.
I didn't want to. I could go on for a long time. I was like, let me cut it there.
I'm like, all right. So let me ask you, how did you get hooked up with Fit Body Fusion? Because they've always had all women's coaches. I know that Jamie had started adding guys in, you, Mark Anthony, and things like that. How did that work out? I mean, how did she approach you with that, or how did you get involved with that?
So one of her coaches was dating my video guy, and so we were at a seminar, and I was sitting with him. We were gonna have lunch, and then they came to sit with her to have lunch, and then basically
Was that the Miami one?
It was whose was it? Joe's Piscula.
Oh, Joe Piscula. That one.
So it was that one, and then so we just sat down and we're talking now, and I kind of told him how my beliefs and what I thought about what I wanted to do in the sport and things like that, and what I thought about business. And it's funny, I didn't know who they were, and I kind of told them I wanted to do what Fit Body Fusion was doing.
Yeah.
And then we had such a good conversation, and then 2 days later she calls me and offers me a spot on the leading the male side and building that. So I thought about it. I'm like, well, I've listened to her. She's incredibly intelligent, great businesswoman, and I'm like, she already has infrastructure, she already has everything in place. So let me just. She was very convincing too. So So yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll come aboard. Yeah, and it's been amazing. I don't have any complaints at all. Yeah.
Well, I don't think if you did, you'd be telling the world.
Definitely. I wouldn't have shouted it out in the first place. Yeah.
Wait a minute, I'm going to reel back that at Fit Body Fusion.
Oh my God. Yeah. But speaking of that, yeah, we did really well too. Fit Body Fusion. I won, and also Jindori also is on the team, and she won the bikini division. So we had a really good weekend, and then we also had I want to say we had 4 athletes total in the show. Her, Joanne, and Jazzy.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, So we had a good show.
Yeah, because I remember we were waiting to take that picture, and then Terrence decided to go with some other.
Well, I didn't.
No. We're not going to say the name. I just want to bust on you for a couple seconds.
I know what's happening.
He decided to leg back to talk to somebody else instead of let me take the picture. Not like I wasn't busy or anything.
I'm sorry.
I'm just torturing you.
I didn't know what was going on. Jamie explained. She's like, "Oh, this was going on." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know what was happening."
All right, so I guess we'll see you in about 9 days because we have the press conference and the meet and greet, right, in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So listen, J.M. Manion,
Terrence Ruffin,
signing out for NPCNewsOnline.com. We'll see you all in Orlando.